Hello there everybody, this week's video is about driving on the motorway in busy traffic going slow. It's quite different than what you're probably used to. I hope you enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, by the way, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So this is the situation on the motorway in the third lane. If people are wondering why I'm in the third lane, by the way, is we're overtaking traffic in the two left lanes who are going slow, and then at that time we started to see signs saying the garage signs above us saying slow down, and then the traffic started slowing down. So you're in this lane. So the best thing for you at this point is stay in the lane you're in. Don't try and switch lanes. And I think the garage sign is saying it's like 40 miles an hour. But you're not doing 40 miles an hour. You can see the speed there. I'm doing 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour if I'm lucky. Yeah, 40 miles an hour in the signs above your head, the garage signs. But remember, just keep looking ahead of you when you start slowing down. Look at the traffic. If you start slowing down or emergency lights are coming on, you need to be slowing down yourself. And don't be switching lanes. That's another tip for you, because you'd be tempted to go in that left lane where the truck's going past fast. That blue car, thought about them for a second. But what happens if everyone goes in that lane slows down and your lane speeds up. So just stay in the lane you're in and just slowly speeding up again. And then so that car on the left there, changing lanes. That's what you've got to watch out for. It's all about looking ahead of you in this sort of traffic and checking your mirrors regular, your side mirrors, seeing what's going on, centre mirror, what's happening behind you. Because it could be a car or a truck behind you who's really close, who's impatient, who's going to go around you. Now don't be surprised if they go past you on the left. You can see them going past on the left here quite easy. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing now, because the traffic's flowing a bit quicker in their lane and we're having to slow down, and it's still saying 40 miles an hour on the signs above us. But you'll see when you're in traffic like this, it speeds up and then it slows back down, and that's quite normal. So as you get closer, traffic's slowing down again and we're slowing back down, and the traffic in the left lane's flying through. And the temptation is getting that left lane. Don't be tempted to do that. It's probably the worst thing you'll do. Also, changing lanes at slow speeds in busy traffic is dangerous. It's a sort of thing that can get you in an accident, because if you change lanes thinking that car on your left or right is going to slow down for you, they might not be paying attention. So we're slowing right back down again, and this is what's going to happen. You could be sat on the motorway in the lane you're in, whether it be the first lane on the left, second, third or fourth lane, and you've got to be patient. You've got to kind of keep an eye on the traffic ahead of you. Don't get too close to them when they start slowing down, because you never know, they might break down. If you're right on the back of them, you have to reverse back to overtake them. And be prepared for cars behind you. You know, if there's a car behind you who's right on the back here, another little tip for you, you have to keep slowing down for the traffic. Best thing you can do is gradually slow down early, forcing them to do the same, because if you brake late, they may not pay attention. They might be looking in the mirror, they might be at the worst looking in the phone, and they'll drive into the back of you. And you're going to get these heavy goods vehicles next to you, which are quite intimidating. Try not to stay in the blind spot where the cab is at the front. You know, it's hard in slow traffic. You can see on the far left lane now it's come to a standstill. So if you went in that left lane, you'd be sat there now. So stick to your lane. And usually it's either there's a car accident, someone's broken down, or someone's on the lanes. So the traffic in the left lane is slowing down because there's cars coming on from the slip road on the left. So they've got to get on. So the left lane always tends to go slower because people are filtering into that lane. So another little tip: don't go in the left lane when you're seeing cars coming on. Stay in the second to the left if you can. And you can see it all going slow there, they're all filtering in, and this lane's starting to speed up again. So it swings and turns about in this sort of traffic. Stick to your lane, keep an eye on things, watch for cars changing lanes into your lane, because if they're going slow and your lane's going, they're going to be tempted to go into your lane. So you've got to be watching for that. And like I said, keep saying, check your mirrors, because we're not looking out just for cars. You get motorbikes who are going to go down the middle of the lanes on the white lines, who are going to overtake you, so be careful for that too. Last thing you want to do is change lanes. Here's a motorbike. And you can see traffic on the left, and the second to left slowing down again. we're just crawling past them. There's quite a few heavy goods vehicles on the left, which is also a bad thing, because if you've got heavy goods vehicles behind you, you can't see what's coming on your lane behind you. And everything's flowing slowly. And it's supposed to be a 70 mile an hour road, we're doing 9 miles an hour. Another thing, make sure you've got fuel in your car. If you go on a motorway journey, it's another little tip. Don't kind of thinking, oh, I'll make it to the next service station, and all of a sudden you hit a tailback of traffic. You could be sat in that tailback for anything between 10 minutes to 2 or 3 hours if it's a serious accident. And the traffic in the right lanes comes to a complete stop then for a second. So when they pull forward, don't be in such a rush to catch up with them, just take your time, because the chances are they're going to slow down and stop again. And what makes it worse also is, you might have heard the term rubbernecking. Traffic slows down to look at the accident or what the problem is. So see this truck on the right, on the left there pulling out, just let him get out of your way. So you're giving you plenty of time there, and that's another little tip there. If you're going to change lanes, make sure you check your mirrors, make sure you check the lane and the lane next to the one you want to go into, and give them plenty of time, you know, tell them your intentions nice and early. Don't kind of force your way in quickly. Give them time. Now you can see on the left there, it's telling the arrow saying get across, that left lane's closed, and it's saying there's a white arrow saying get across to the next left, and that's why that second to the left starting to go slow. Everyone's going into that lane. So there'll be more temptation for people to change into your lane from the left because that traffic's going slow. So they're closing that left lane completely. So we must be getting close to the problem of the tailback of all the traffic. And this is what you've got to keep reminding yourself, is that the traffic's going slow. You've got to keep on the ball. You can't be kind of chatting and getting distracted by stuff in your car at this point. You should be paying attention to what's happening ahead of you all the time and what's next to you, because if you're not checking your mirrors, you're not aware of cars going past you on your left or right. Keeping a nice safe gap from the truck in front of you. So if you've got a car that's, you're thinking, ooh, it's 15, 20-year-old car, I'm not sure we're going to make it on a 1.5 hour journey on the motorway, then it might not be a good idea to go on the motorway. Because if you break down the motorway, it can be a little bit tricky getting into that left lane at this point. Obviously, if you get any warning lights come on your car, hazard lights come on, look to get across to the left as best you can. If you want to know more about motorways, by the way, I'll put a video up top for you, how to get on and get off motorways. But traffic starting to speed up. Don't be deceived by it, because it might slow down again. So we're looking ahead of ourselves at the moment. Traffic's flowing, speeding up. It's not going fast, but it's speeding up. Now if you look to the left there, it's saying on the gantry sign 40 mile an hour, the left lane's closing, get across. So there's going to be 3 lanes, there's going to be the right lane, middle, and the second to the left, that lane's not going to be flowing. And the far left, which is normally the left lane, is closing. That's what the signs are telling you. So the signs are giving you plenty of warning to kind of keep an eye on your speeds and get yourself in the correct lane if you're in the left. Traffic slowing back down again. So what I mean about it's speeding and slowing back down, that's what you've got to be wary of. You know, sometimes you'll come to a little tailback and it'll slow down once and then you'll speed back up and you're thinking, what's caused all that? And it could be someone slowing down 10 minutes earlier. But that's what you're going to get a lot of, people slowing down for the traffic and then all of a sudden it speeds back up. So you've got to be on the ball, keeping an eye on what's going on, keeping an eye on your mirrors aside of you, and watching for cars who are going to change lanes again. So at the moment we've got 3 lanes running, the left lane's closed. You should, if it's told you to get across to the second to the left, there should be a red cross in that left lane coming up. And if there is, you're legally not allowed to use that lane. And if you go for a red cross, it's a fine and points in your licence. You get caught for doing it, because there could be a serious accident further up, and they put a red cross, which means the lane's closed completely at that point, because they give you plenty of time to get across. So we'll look out for the red cross if we see it. As I said, that what's ahead of us there? Yeah, and there's red cross straight away. So it's telling you the speed limit on the right of the sign, on the left it's got the red cross, and it's saying 3 lanes are running 40 mile an hour. So that's what it's saying. The left lane can't be used. And you do see cars try to be clever, shoot in the left lane, they put the foot down, and there's usually a cop around at that point, pulls them over, points, and a fine they get for it. Because you'd be tempted, oh, there's nothing on the left lane, I can go on the left lane. No, it's closed. There's a reason for it's closed. It could be a dangerous situation on the left lane further up. So we're just flowing along at 20 miles an hour, 19 miles an hour on a 40 zone at the moment. So it's just flowing, and the traffic's starting to kind of even out a bit more now. So I won't be surprised if it starts speeding up soon, because the left lane's closed and it's not slowing down too much at the moment. But you never know, you know, this is what you've got to keep an eye on. I've kept a nice safe gap from the car in front of me. Sometimes cars will jump into them gaps, that's fine, just drop back again if it happens. I can see some amber lights on the left starting. Yeah, there's a blue sign from cones out. Yeah, so there's definitely an accident there. There's a cop car on the left. And there's a pickup. Yeah, delivery. And at that point there, it's open back up, and you'll see the car starting to speed up. The car stand ahead of us is saying national speed limit going forward at that point, so the speed limit starting to pick up. Now I'm not in a rush to get in that left lane because it's obviously heavy goods vehicles. I'm just going to build my speed up and start to look into the left lane when it's safe to do so. The last thing I want to do is go straight into the lane next to me, and the car in that left lane speeding up at the same time. So I'm building my speed up to be safe. The heavy goods vehicles going to the left, which is what they want to be doing. There's a sign saying national speed limit. I'm coming across. Hope you've enjoyed this short video, and just give you an idea of what it's like to drive in traffic. Oh, he's pulling out, so I'm pulling back out at the same time. So safe driving, everybody, and if you like this video and you want to watch more videos like this, I'll put some at the end and in the description for you at the same time. Take care, safe driving.